Well, today is World Emoji Day.
More than 5 billion emojis are sent daily on Facebook Messenger alone.
In fact, just this past week, Apple released a whole batch of new emojis.
Everybody's getting emojis.
I saw that today is World Emoji Day. Do you guys know that?
Because there is a day for everything.
So why is World Emoji Day on July 17th? Simple, really. The iOS emoji for a calendar displays the date July 17th.
At this point, there's only one question you need to ask yourself, and that question is, are you a fucking dumbass? Are you a dumbass? Are you an idiot? If you're watching this video, you're obviously not a dumbass. Our little cohort here knows that nothing will happen on September 21st or 22nd or 25th or 29th or 17th and not September 11th. Nothing's going to happen in the month of September. They are literally giving this to you in your face. What date are they giving you? They're giving you July 17th. What is July 17th? Tammuz means 10. That's 10/21. October 21st. What's 10? 10. Zero's not a number. What happened on 7/11? The New York PSA.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why, just know that the big one has hit.
And when was that? On 7/11. 7/11. 7/11. Tammuz means 10. 1017. 7/11. And what was the headline all over mainstream mainstream media on July 17th? Iran has a nuke. Iran capable of building nuclear on July 17th of 2022. And what is that? 217. 717 right in your damn face. And what do we have here? What do we have here? The Big Apple of New York rolling, rolling and rolling right in front of your face, and then a 7C appears, 7 flipping 3. And then what else happens? The apple splits, and who comes out of the apple? Kamala flipping Harris in your face. The lotus, the damn lotus. And I'm going to do very little talking. If you listen to anybody, such as me, well, I don't know much. You don't know much, obviously. I don't know much, obviously. And who doesn't know anything? The rapture fucking retards. The losers of planet Earth. The cockroaches. The dumbest down of our society. Idiots. Complete idiots. But who does know everything? The people who write the script. So why listen to me? Why listen to yourself? And why absolutely listen to the vax-injured rapture fucking retards? Right? Only person you should be listening to is the con John, the con man himself, Satan. These people are one family. They are all in it together. We're all in it together. Who's we? It's them. It's not us. It's not us. It's them. The Jesuits are all in this together. Okay? What does that mean? That means you look at one person, and his name is Con John, Jonathan Con, the con man, JC, and he'll tell you what is going to occur. And what is Con John pushing? September 23rd. Obviously, we know nothing happens on a date they give you, but the question you have to ask yourself is, why are they pushing September 23rd upon the losers of society, the lowest form of illiterates, the morons, the dipshits, the ones that look at stellarium at outer space and think it's going to be September 11th or September 23rd? Because they're fucking idiots. They can't pull up a goddamn calendar. Now, we've established that July 17th, World Emoji Day, is 10/21, October 21st. How do we know it's not going to be October 23rd? Because October 23rd is the day the dates of hell open. They're not going to do it on the 23 when John Con comes out and talks about 23, right? So what are they pointing you towards? If you look at the date, September 23rd, right? September 23rd, the date they're pushing you toward. What is that day? That's Tishri 1, 7/1. So when do all the market crashes occur? On Elul 29, September 22nd. Elul 29. What does Elul mean? Elul means 6. What does August mean? August means 6. So if we go to 8/29, what is that day? That day right there, 8/29, like you saw in the last video, matches Blondie, matches the day of the Trump assassination. When was the Trump assassination? Exactly on July 13th. July 13th. And what was that day? It was 5/6. And what is what is this date on August 29th? Elul means 6. It's 5/6. So we have Blondie. We have the Trump assassination. Blondie is 12/29. What does Elul mean? Elul means 12 and 6, right? So we go to Blondie on a Friday. What is that day? It's 12/29 on a Friday. That's flippin' Blondie. And that's all of it right there on this day, August 29th. How much more proof do you need? We have World Emoji Day. We have Iran has a nuke day. Then we have the date they're pushing all the retards towards is September 23rd. So let's look at September 23rd. What is that day? That's Tishri 1, September flippin' 1st. And what is the day before September 1st? It's Elul 29, August 29th. So if we go to the lunar calendar and go to October 21st, what is that day? It's August 29th. And what's October 22nd? It's September 1st. And when is September 1st? September 1st is simply the date on September 23rd, right? September 23rd, you saw, was Tishri 1. What is that date on the on our calendar, on the Gentile dumbed down calendar? That's October 22nd. So between October 21st and October 22nd, Iran will nuke New York 1,000,000,000% fucking guaranteed. A date we saw 2 months in advance when all the degenerate monkeys are looking at September 23rd. Wake me up when September ends. Does September end? When does September end? September ends exactly on October 23rd. How do we know that? Because if you go to October 23rd, it's exactly the day September ends. So they're going to pull it on 10/28, 10/29, and 10/30. And if you want to know how scripted all of this is, from Kamala the Lotus with the 7-3 on the floor, October 23rd, to the September 23rd nonsense. Sep means 7, just like Tishri means 7, right? And what is Kamala Harris known for? She's known for pushing abortion. And when is the highlight day of abortion? On January 22nd, right there, 122. So what is the last day of the year on the lunar calendar? The last day of the year is exactly on August 29th, right? August 29th is when all hell breaks loose. And the last day of the year on this one is the 3rd day, when the gates of hell open. That's why they give you all the September 23rd coding. But enough of me. Listen to Jonathan Kahn. If you look at any other day, you are nothing but a dumbass. Actually, I'm not done. October 26th, 826. Exactly the date on August 29th. And what do we establish? That August 29th is 6/5. 6s or 9s. This day is exactly August 29th. In your face, August, Oct, 26, 6s or 9s. And right here, November 9/5, 6s or 9s, the most important day in history, November 5th. Both of it is August 29th. And we know Market Collapse War Coverage Day is exactly on this day, 6/5. 6-5. Exactly the day, once again, on August 29th. And when does World War III, United States declared war on Iran on May 6th? 5-6. And when did they come out with that? On January 7th. 1-7 right there. And what is January? January is month 5, right? Month 5 and month 11. 7-11. 5-6. What is that only day? That's July 17th and August 29th, matching our date, October 21st, 22nd. Give me a break. Do the September 23rd fuckfaces, do they see any of this? No, because they're complete morons. And this is why the 17th, 5/17, January means 5, 5/17, right? 5/17 is the International Day of Judgment. What other day is that? That can only be on July 17th, July 21st, July 29th, August 29th, and if it's not August 29th, it's October 21st, 2 months in advance. And when did the lights go out at the Super Bowl? On when they had a 22-point lead. The Ravens, Raven went to and fro in the dark. 22-point lead. And when did the lights, when did Hawaii burn? Hawaii burned exactly between August 8th, the night of August 8th into August 9th. What is the Julian? What is the damn Julian of the 21st? The 21st, the Julian is October 8th. 8/8 into 8/9. October 21st and 22nd. What was that calendar? 5/2/1. What is 5? 5 is July. 7/2/1 and 7/2/2. Come on, dude. You're not an idiot. What you are is somebody that doesn't have patience. We've waited this long, 1,335 days exactly from February 22nd of February 24th of 2022 when the Ukraine war started. 1,335 days precisely, as Wendy pointed out in the comments. 1,335 days. Blessed are the ones who have patience and wait 1,335 days. Unblessed are the ones who are complete, utter degenerates, the rapture retards, the losers. And of course, July means 5. 5/17, World War III begins. That's on 10/21. December 21st, Christmas. And what is that day? That's 29th, Halloween. So it's between the 21st and 22nd after midday. And when does summer come and pass? Summer ends every year. Every year it ends on September 22nd or 23rd. September 22nd or 23rd. And when did they come out with this? On September 21st. And they told you 3/20. And they said, oh, sometimes some meteorologists say August 31st. When's August 31st? August 31st is 12/31. Blondie, New Year's Eve. That's October 23rd. So what they're pointing you towards is sometime between October 21st and 23rd are the 3 days of silence, and it begins at 3:20 p.m. Summer has come and passed. The idiots can never last. Wake me up when September ends. When does September end? September ends on the lunar calendar on October 21st, on the Torah calendar on October 23rd, the exact day they gave you right damn here. Wake me up when September ends. And what are the odds? September ends this year exactly on 7/23, October 23rd. And when does summer end this year? On September 23rd. When is September 23rd? Don't be a rapture retard. It's on October 23rd. But what day are we looking at? We're looking at between the 21st and 22nd. And you're going to see how Kamala flippin' Harris fits into all of this. Wake me up when September finally flippin' ends. And it's not going to be on September 23rd, you fucking idiots. And what day is August 29th? It's 8/5. 8/5, right? 8/5. On 8/5, a projection of the Hindu goddess Kali was displayed on the Empire State Building. Right there, Kali. Kali is the fierce Hindu goddess of death, time, and doomsday. Doomsday. Right there, and derived her name from Sanskrit, the word Kala, black, time, death.
Yeah, a con.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's the same thing, but in a different...
Except it's pagan.
It's pagan. Yeah, exactly. Of course.
Well, but they say that from these come avatars. Well, from this, the House of Brahmin was born a person named Kamala Harris. She's born of that. And actually her name, her Hindu family name is Gopalan, which is named after not only a Hindu god, but an avatar. So you've got this house of the avatars, you got a child born, and she's given, the avatar represents a god or goddess. She's given the name Kamala, it's the name of the goddess. And actually, by the way, Kamala also means the lotus. And so the thing is that when America started turning away from God, they turned to all the Eastern things came in, the concepts came in. All those things are represented by the lotus. You know, the symbol of Hinduism is a lotus flower.
Right, yeah.
All of it is a lotus. Kamala Harris is named Lotus on one hand.
Okay.
Okay. But she's named Kamala is also the name of a goddess, the lotus goddess. Okay. So it's linked to the fall of America. And by the way, she was born just when America was in between America turning away from God, early 60s, and when all the Eastern gods were coming into America. And the thing is, so she's named after a Hindu god, and her middle name, Devi, means literally the goddess. So here she's named Kamala, which is a goddess, the goddess Kamala, Kamala Devi. And so in the Hindu writings, they talk about, they say Kamala Devi, which is her first, and they talk about that goddess. But the amazing thing on top of it is that her life has been like a living image. It said the pharaohs were called living images of the gods. Sure. Her life has been a living image. It's followed the pattern, just as I said, the kings and queens, like the American leaders are following the pattern of these ancient leaders, the ancient kings. Her life is following the pattern of this ancient goddess. And that is that, for instance, in the mythology of the ancient goddess, the goddess Kamala is born linked to the ocean, and linked to the ocean, and also she rises. Her rising is from the ocean. So Kamala Harris is born by the ocean on the San Francisco Bay.
Okay.
And her rise began in San Francisco.
Right.
It's from the ocean. You know, the goddess Kamala becomes the number 2 ruler of the Hindu pantheon, the vice
president of the pantheon,
of the Hindu pantheon, and so did Kamala Harris. Like you think, like, was that destined? You know, and the one she is the vice to the goddess is the god who's the king called Vishnu.
Okay.
Now, Kamala Harris was the vice president to Joe Biden. Joe Biden was called Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
President Trump loved calling him that.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Vishnu is called the sleeping god.
Oh my goodness.
And the thing is that you have also the concept in Hinduism that the goddess, or the Devi, is a laughing goddess. Kamala Harris, the laughing Kamala is what Trump called
Very
it.
awkward times too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so did the goddess. The goddess would laugh when she was bringing destruction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
When she was destroying somebody, she was laughing. So it's interesting.
So she enjoyed it.
It was inappropriate. Yeah. Now the thing is that, but also there's a day on the Hindu calendar that is dedicated to the goddess Kamala, and they worship Kamala and the goddess. The day is called Sharad Purnima. Sharad Purnima, it fell on October 20th, 1964. On October 20th, 1964 is the birth date of Kamala Harris. She was born on the day of the goddess Kamala. And not only that.
There are no coincidences.
No, not only that, that night has its own holiday. It's the night when they believe that the goddess Kamala enters the world under the light of the full moon. And the thing is, I think it's called Kojagara Puja. And it's that night they actually open up their doors to let the goddess come in.
So they invite possession?
Was it?
So they invite possession?
They invite her the goddess to possess the house, whether it goes deeper. But the Hindu gods are also, by the way, and all these pagan concepts, they believe in that the gods possess people. So, we talk about demons possessing people, but that's what we're dealing with. But the gods possessing people. And so this night of the entrance of the goddess, Kamala Harris was born at night, on that night, under the full moon. So she entered the world on the night of the goddess entering the world. And lastly, there is a day, and when it's the birth date, they celebrate the birth of the goddess Kamala. Kamala Harris was born on the birthday of the goddess Kamala. So she's born into the world, and all around the world, people are chanting the name of Kamala, Kamala Devi, all over the world as she comes into the world. And it's not that she knows it, and we got to pray for all people, but it's being used. We're at an advanced stage of the gods or the spirits taking over America. And here is one who almost became the leader of America. Now, America's always was dedicated by the Puritans and reaffirmed that it's under God. It's a nation under God. If she had won, we would be one nation under the goddess. Her name being goddess, ruled, not led by God, led by the goddess. I mean, and you talk about, you take the return of the gods and bring it to that. And the other thing is that in ancient times, they would make images of the pharaoh or the king, and they would merge as an avatar, would merge that image with the image of the god or goddess behind them. So the avatar would be merged with the god. Well, the amazing thing is that an image appeared in America, well, on the web, just before Kamala Harris was going to rise to power and be as vice president, just before, and her family's the one who put it up, and it was an image of Kamala Harris as an avatar, because it's her face and and they merged her face, just like with the pharaohs, onto the body of a Hindu goddess, many arms, and riding on a lion into battle. And she's coming against this creature where they put the head of Trump on it. And so the lion that's carrying her has the head of Joe Biden. And the thing is, in that election, she wasn't the one primarily who was fighting Trump, and she wasn't supported by Biden. She was the vice president.
Right.
But in 2024, it all came true.
Yeah.
So, but this was 4 years before, almost like a prophetic thing of what was almost like what was planned, maybe from the dark side.
Wow. Now I've got a couple questions about showed you something with what actually happened there that was a predictor of what was going to happen.
Yeah. You see, when Jehu was called to he's given his calling by a prophet. We don't know who the prophet was, but the prophet anoints him with oil. And he's the only king of the north who's ever recorded as being anointed. So it's linked to the anointing. Was Trump ever anointed? Well, the first anointing in the Bible, and the most detailed, is the anointing of the priests. In order to serve God, you had to be anointed. And they literally, sometimes they'll talk about the priest who's being anointed. He's the candidate for the priesthood. And then he goes into the office of the priest. Got candidate, you got office. Okay.
Sounds familiar,
So now Trump is a candidate running again for president. He's in Butler. By a miracle, he's not killed. I mean, a miracle. Turns his head, within a fraction of an inch, fraction of a second, would have been dead. In the anointing of the priest, they're not just anointed with oil, they're anointed by blood. The blood must touch the ear of the one anointed for the office. So Donald Trump's ear, the blood touches his ear. The blood must touch the right ear, touches the right ear.
Yeah.
Has to touch the tip of it, touches the tip of it. Then the blood must touch the hand. First thing Trump does is he brings up his hand to touch the blood. His blood, it must be the right hand. It's his right hand. It must be the right thumb of the thumb of his right hand. Thumb of his right hand, first thing that comes up to touch it. Then it's got to touch his feet. We don't know what happened down there because nobody filmed it, but they push him down.
Right.
But in order for it to touch his feet, it's on where the blood was pouring. But in order to do that, he had to have his shoes removed. And as he goes down, his shoes are removed.
We still don't know how his shoes got removed.
No.
But they did.
No.
There's audio of him saying, "Where's my shoes? Get my shoes."
I need my shoes.
Yeah.
And the priest could only be anointed without his shoes, with his shoes being removed. And he would actually minister with that. And the thing is, let me throw something else before I give you. I'm giving you stuff that's not in the other ones, and that is that there is in the Bible there is one who is appointed to save a king from assassination attempts. And he was called, you know the name, but you may not think, people don't realize what he did. He's called the cupbearer.
Right.
The cupbearer would take the cup so the king wouldn't be poisoned. So he was there to save the king against assassination attempts. The word cupbearer got translated into bottle bearer, botelier, and became butler. Butler, the cupbearer. It was God who saved him.
Wow.
And now here's more, that it was leading the timing, because when the priest, when the blood is touched to his ear, he's got 7 days of this anointing until he receives the office. And so he's set in place. And so could there be something here? Well, the day that it happened for Trump, it was a Saturday. Then came the sundown. So in Hebrew, Saturday was the first day. Sundown to sundown is the next day. So you got to, if you keep doing that to find this, when's the seventh day? Anything happen? Seventh day pinpoints the date of Thursday night. Thursday night is the night that Trump receives the nomination,
nomination,
ordination to become president of the United States of America. It happened, the whole thing, even the timing was timed. It was 2 days before the convention. Everything happened so it would happen on the seventh day. And not only that, I'm throwing in something I didn't throw in before. You're
honored.
getting extra stuff here.
Yes.
You will get an invoice though. No, I'm kidding. So the one who's being who receives the anointing, he receives the anointing, it says, in front of the doors of the temple, in front of the doorway of the temple.
Okay.
And so it's got to be in front of the doorway. When Trump received the nomination, first of all, he had that thing on his ear.
I remember that. Yeah, that was an interesting bandage.
It's connecting it all together. And so the priest would have blood on his ear.
Yeah.
And in back of him, they put a backdrop of the backside of the White House. And as he's speaking, framing him was the doorway. He did it in front of the doorway, and the doorway that they used echoes the doorway of the temple.
Wow.
Literally, if you take a thing between the two of them, even the whole set, it was like 4 columns of the temple, the doorway. So even that followed the ancient mystery.
Wow, Jonathan, there's
Go where you need to go. Do what you need to do. I will be right beside you.